Patchouli knowledge is frustrated. Frustrated by the intruder that disturbs her quiet time. That black witch who takes things and never returns them. Fed up, Patchouli remodeled the library and created another world. No one will disturb her quiet time. Patchouli is satisfied. But now, Marisa's challenge begins. Let me tell you one thing, Patchouli. Creating your new library right beneath the home of the person you try to get away from, not the best idea. Hello everybody, this is NCS and welcome to MegaMari, the only Mega Man game where you can play as the antagonist. Sort of, I mean, Marisa does try to take the books away from the library, without asking at that. And just like in any good Mega Man game, even if it's only a fan game, and one that crosses over with another franchise, what was my train of thought? You can fight against 8 people. Although the first Mega Man game only had 6 Robot Masters, so does that mean it is not a good game? No, it was good. Anyway, I'm going to start with the Eternal Shrine Maiden of Paradise, Reimu mostly because her stage is the easiest out of all the 8 bosses there. And, well, while her battle is not the easiest, that would go to Kirno. I think an easier stage is a lot more important for anyone starting the game here new. So anyway, as for the controls, we can jump and shoot, just like the good old Mega Man. Sadly, we do not have the ability to slide or charge our Muddy Buster, which is actually called something different, but I cannot remember it, so it's just called it Muddy Buster. But, well, jumping and shooting is enough, really. I mean, I think in Mega Man 9 and 10 you also don't have the slide. You definitely do not have the charge shot. But outside of shooting our Muddy Buster at our enemies, we also can get hit by them, which you probably should not do, no. If you go into the start menu, you can also choose Alice Murgatroyd. She has a laser, which sadly only deals half the damage the Muddy Buster deals. So, well, it does have a penetrating effect, unlike Marisa's new lasers in the last 2 Toho games. But, well, I still think Marisa is way better for the stages than Alice is, and oh my god, did I really just fall down? I don't even need to go up here, really. But I can, so I thought I would. Because if you go up there, you'll have to dodge all of these various attacks there. So I personally prefer to just kill them and, well, kill them like that, rather than running away. But, I mean, running away is for cowards, you know? And Marisa definitely is no coward at all. I have no idea where I want to go with that. Anyway, as for the enemies, we have a couple of different types of fairies, like those blue fairies that should shoot 3 shots and then run away. Cowardly. We have those red jumping fairies, which are really annoying because of their jumping around. And we have those purple fairies that fly around in short instances and shoot streams of bullets at you. Not really difficult to deal with. The only ones I really hate are the red jumping ones because I keep missing them. Then we also have these lanterns here, which you can only hit if you're good at jumping or with Alice. No, only hit in the area which they shoot you from, so you need to dodge a little there. That's better. We also have these donation boxes, which shoot huge young orbs at you. If you are close enough to them anyway. You don't really have to deal with, well, that one up there, but I am going to because I was hoping to get a health refill. Nope. And those young orbs deal a lot of damage, so be careful not to get hit by them. The blue ones, you can jump on top of them though, so that's not much of a problem. And I'm going to jump down here because that red fairy is annoying. Alright, that's enough of you. There should be another red fairy around here. Yep, there she is. And if we go all the way all the way to the right and jump, we get, well, outside of an item jingle, and a mushroom tank, which is basically an energy tank from the Mega Man games. It refills your health. Sadly, only of one of your two characters, but, well, usually you don't need to heal both of the characters anyway. At least I don't. Not saying that I'm particularly good at the game, it's just that I usually only use Marisa for the stages and Alice for the bosses. Because the way this game here works is, if you collect a weapon from a boss, only one of your two characters actually gets that weapon. So I tend to give most of my weapons to Alice. Also, we have a new enemy here, a Stomping Tay. Alright, she takes quite a lot of hits, but thankfully, not sadly, she's rather slow, so you can usually just finish her off before she gets close to you. If you know how to button mash, at least. And alright, we've made it to the boss room already, against Reimu herself. Reimu has a couple of different attacks, like her running towards you, or not if you jump over her, and shooting needles, just jump over her in that case. She can throw, oh my god, charms around, so just position yourself and jump if necessary. And she can throw yin-yang orbs. The bad part about the yin-yang orbs is, they deal a lot of damage if you get hit, and they won't go away. They'll stay here for the rest of the battle. And once you... oh crap! Did you see how much damage that just took? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, the worst part about them is once you deal enough damage to Reimu, she will only throw around yin-yang orbs from that point onwards, so be careful to... or take care of her quickly then, I mean. Anyway, for defeating Reimu with Marisa, we get the yin-yang strike. It's basically just throwing around yin-yang orbs like Reimu just did there. And yeah, I have enough time for another stage there, so let's go right on to Remilia Scarlet's stage. Because, well, she is weak to yin-yang strike, which we just got. If you take the weapon with Alice, you get yin-yang orbs instead, which do have a homing probability, not probability, but property, I mean. But it is incredibly weak, so don't even bother. Here we just had Mei-Ling. All she does is run around from right to left and left to right. She is faster when she goes from left to right, so be careful and just dodge her. When she runs from right to left, then you can attack her. We also have these huge fairies there, the blue ones. They will eventually stop running and shoot at you, while the red ones do not stop running and instead will jump, so be careful there. Or just kill them before they can actually do anything. And here we have a really annoying part of this level. These stairs. Generally, I would suggest you to wait coming here until you actually have a weapon that is useful on the stairs here, because, well, you only have straightforward shots, which really make it difficult to hit enemies that come from the top downwards. However, the only two weapons that have angled probability... there we go with my probabilities again. That have angled properties are the weapon you get in this stage, and the weapon you get in this stage you need this weapon for, because the boss is weak against the weapon you get here. Ow. So yeah, there's really not much you can do there, outside of, well, going on the stairs without a proper weapon. With a little bit of practice though, you can usually manage to get through here relatively safe. Also, we have, I don't think we actually had those kinds of Kedama last time. Those fuzzballs there that just shoot around, and the ones I just got hit by. Yeah. They are pretty much just like, oh my god, like the Mets from the Mega Man game. Yeah, they just hide behind that basket, I think it's actually, and you have to wait for them to attack you to actually hit them. And the room that I just passed through, there's nothing really you can do about it. Just tank a hit with Alice, preferably, because I'm just using her for tanking specifically, and run through it. Because the thing is, you could kill those fairies, those big ones with... I'm stupid. With Marisa. However, Mei Ling actually reflects the young orbs. They just bounce off her and fly into space, pretty much. So there's nothing much you can do about that, actually. Outside of just tanking the hit and running through. And I just realized that I'm doing terrible in this stage here, so, really terrible even with both characters. So yeah, there's nothing much you can do there, sadly. And I usually just run straight through. Okay, let's actually play intelligently and wait instead of getting hit. Also wait for that young orb because it will deal a huge amount of damage if you get hit. Now let's try and jump over you. Nice. Yeah, jumping over the enemies is probably the best bet for you, unless you have an angled weapon, which you pretty likely don't. Although I guess you could also get another weapon that would be rather useful, but only in this stage here and not in the general game, I guess. And could I get a little bit of health, enemies? Oh well. Oh! Did not expect those purple fairies, even though I probably should, seeing how often I've played this game. Better let's switch to Alice. For this part, you could actually just rush through here unless you're doing stupid stuff like me. Oh boy, I'm not dealing with this stage here well at all. Let's give that to Marisa, she will need it, because for once I actually have given Marisa the weakness of the boss, so better have her healed up, even though I'm at the end of the stage already and I am in terrible condition. Here we have Merlin, which is basically like a Sniper Joe from the Mega Man games. Her instrument will shield her from all the damage, so be careful. Okay. To time your shots, or just use Alice because she has penetrating probabilities with a laser. And I'm probably going to die right now. I mean, look at my health. Anyway, Remilia! She has this attack here, in which she will turn into bats and just teleport from one point to another. Try to move to a place where you see less bats flying to you. Ooh. She also has this rushing attack, and I think those were all attacks she can do already. No, she did not use that one. But that should have been all of them, and I'm in terrible condition right now. In general, with Remilia, the best strategy is practice a lot. And I probably should use... yeah, I will die now anyway. Yeah, all you can do is practice a lot of dodging against her. And as you could see, I'm not doing that well at that. However, Remilia is weak against Yin Yang Strike and the homing amulets. And look at how much damage already dealt. And this here is Remilia's pincer attacks. She will throw those red huge orbs, which will spawn smaller orbs, which just fly around. And with that, let's grab Remilia's weapon and get, well, the weapon for Alice, because technically fans say or not even fans, but even statistics say that Marisa's weapon is stronger, but I personally am better with Alice's weapon, which is Bloody Curse. You know what, instead of just talking about it, I'm going to show off those weapons in a bit. Which means that I either need to use a code or replay those stages again. Also, even if you replay the stages and get the weapon with a different character, you will actually not get those weapons. You will only have a weapon either for Marisa or Alice, so better choose carefully which weapon you want to have for which character. Let the weapon exhibition begin. With Marisa, I already showed you the Yin Yang Strike in the previous boss battle, and with Alice we have these Yin Yang, not Yin Yang orbs, but these homing amulets. They deal a rather small amount of damage, and eventually you will be getting angled weapons. Actually, we already got one by beating Remilia, so it's really not that great here. I mean, it does home in on the enemies, but it just doesn't deal a lot of damage, so yeah. For defeating Remilia and taking the weapon with Marisa, we get red magic, which deals a lot of damage with this, well, red orb there, and also leaves a trail of red energy, which also damages the enemies by a little, not a lot. However, you cannot shoot another orb until the trail is gone, so if you miss your enemies, well, that's bad for you. However, you can also shoot the orb in any... What are those enemies doing there? You can shoot them in any of the 8 directions, and I'm out of energy. Oh well, but you can shoot them in all directions. So that's pretty nice, but again, I don't like the fact that you cannot shoot more shots until you've until the trail is gone, I mean. And if we take Remilia's weapon with Alice, we get my most favorite weapon in the entire game, the Bloody Cross, or how it's called in this game here, or this translation I mean, the Bloody Curse. I don't know which translation is more correct, but I would assume that Bloody Cross is the correct one. Just like red magic, you can throw this Bloody Cross here in all 8 directions, and just like the Bellman's Holy Cross, it, well, comes back like a boomerang. And since it does come back to you, you have just so much more probability that you can actually hit the enemy. And wow, for once I actually wanted to say probability. So yeah, I personally prefer this weapon here a lot over red magic, but in terms of pure power, red magic is probably a little bit stronger. So that's all for this episode, and I hope I'll see you again next time here on Let's Play MegaMari. This is SansCS, and farewell for now.